11 likes and 11 people in the room when I come in. That's so crazy. And now it says 12, 12. What's going on? 11, 11, 12, 12. What's going on, people? That was a weird way to start. Okay, okay. Um, what in the world is happening? Yeah, I'm live. Yeah, I'm live. I know you're like, is she live? Like, really? Actually? Yes, I am. So, I'm gonna bless and shuffle. Is this? Yeah, this is enough space. We're gonna pull a few runes. I want to figure out a couple areas of the divine masculine's life that we can focus in on right now. But first, let's get the energies here. Where you at? How you doing? By the way, and I'm not just talking about your location. How you doing with everything in your journey right now? I know we're kind of knee deep in the. I know by this point a lot of people get numb when there's a lot of things going on. But I also know, some of us are still trudging through with a little bit of positivity. Some people are deciding, you know what, if this got to be some sort of dark night for the moment or something like that, or something for me to not have to go into that again, then I'm going to handle what I have to handle. So I like to kind of get an idea of where everyone's at. So, okay. Wow. So I come into the chat, it's 11, 11, then 12, 12, and we start with 11. The Wheel of Fortune and the Ace of Wands, by the way, not just any 11. This is manifestation power. So the divine masculine, I think that even this sitting here in the center makes me think about pulling runes for some reason. There's something about this that makes me, I don't know, it looks like I have a rune that has a yin and yang, right? And it just makes me think about that for some reason. So I like that. Okay. So I think that we're going to be talking about the divine masculine's vision, which we usually do that, right? Sure. But I think more so how they're manifesting it. We're looking at what their vision, what their focus is on, and how they're attempting to do this. Because remember, this in many cases represents the divine feminine. So hold on. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Look at that. Whoa, look at that. Okay. I mean, this is what's behind this person. Wow. Wow. But look at this. Okay. All right, Grace. And again, we're talking about 11. I'm trying to let you guys in on what I'm seeing because there's a reason I'm live right now. And I think a lot of you can figure it out. Okay. The Hierophant. We start with 1111 and we end with the sacred bond of unity. I mean, am I reaching I mean, it's obvious, right? So does that mean marriage? Does that mean locking it down? Is that what we're talking about when we're looking at the Hierophant energy, or is it something different? Is it, I mean, because that's, if you think about, I'm just saying, we've got the Knight of Pentacles, which is all about settling down. And it's the one kingdom, believe it or not, that is really based on the ability for the king to create alongside their queen. Because that's what they do. They're pentacles. That's their focus. Everyone else, the interaction between the king and the queen, they all have their different stories. But that is the one kingdom where the queen, the divine feminine in the situation, can make or break the future for the entirety of the kingdom. So this is interesting. I do get the sense that we're talking about someone who wants to make a commitment. And I think that a lot of people have been asking lately, hey, where are the twins in union? And it comes up where there's these phases where people are like, does anyone ever get into union? And they start asking a lot. And then I have these phases where I have a bunch of people who are like, Grace, I'm out. Not just the usual Grace, I'm out. Like, hey, Grace, thank you for encouraging me to kind of step away and use my discernment and all that. No, I'm talking about goodbyes like, hey, I'm in union. And for some reason, I don't know, but it's like, how do I tell you guys that they don't stay? They don't stick around. So don't just think because you don't see it in this community. This community isn't for people who are in union. This community is for people who are in separation, essentially. That's really what Twin Flame Tarot is for. And it's interesting to me that we see a divine feminine community who's looking for this beautiful sacred bond, and all we are able to kind of talk about is what's stopping the divine masculine, what's holding them back. So I love that today even the energy is trying to tell us, no, this divine masculine wants exactly what you want. I have to tell you that the the Ace of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, there is a little bit of a new energy to it. And so again, we are definitely talking about a divine masculine who has grown and awakened. Or if your DM or your PDM, your potential DM hasn't grown or moved, just be prepared that it might not be what you think. It might not be the person you think is really what I mean by that, okay? So again, either way, whether it's your DM who you think it is being completely different, and that, come on, you have to see that in the comments. That's all over the comments. Most of the time when people finally see their DM again, they come back to a video and they say, oh my gosh, I just needed to let you know you're right. They've changed. I can see the difference in them. I finally got to talk to them. And I know I see someone who says, hey, listen, I'm sick of the silence. And I totally get that. I believe you, me. I get it. At the same time, it's like you don't know when they're coming, and it can be tough because if they're right around the corner, it's so hard to believe it, even when the cards are trying to tell you. So I want you to open yourself up. I want you to be prepared for what this reading has to say, because when it happens, you're not going to really be around anymore to have the confirmations. They're going to be in front of you, so you're not going to be looking to tarot to confirm it. When it's time, you're not going to come back here. And there's something in this message that's really important for you, because we're in a season where reunions are happening. And that's typically preceded by a season of people going, does anyone ever get into reunion? So just throwing my, 3 years in this community, running things, like handling my business as a light worker into this reading so that you can really open yourself up and believe it's all possible. So what do we have? Oh, and look at this. You want to talk about an awakened divine masculine? You want to talk about, what did we just see? We saw the Knight of Pentacles, and then we saw behind it was the World. And I have a feeling that this is what's missing. Not just the commitment, but the awakening. And I think that before, the reason why you couldn't have the commitment is because you didn't have the awakening, and you knew that. But many of us, I'm this way. That's how I ended up with Mr. Lightwork as early as I did, and not having to experience as long of a separation as some people do. It was because I was willing to kind of be separated from our sacredness, but be together. And it wasn't a good feeling, but it worked for us. And some couples, you have that. To see that the divine masculine awakening energy is the reason for all of this, how we got here. I don't know. I hope it excites you. I hope it does, because sometimes when we see this card, we don't see good things. But to me, you see the twins bound in strength. You see it. You see the manifestation of two visions and the spiritual creation of something new out of the ether, if you will. What's back here? I mean, come on. 11. I mean, I'm just saying, I point to the two X's as if these are each one individual. And then we come into this 11 energy. I'm trying to tell y'all something. We started the energies with 11 when I walked in the door. You know what I mean? So, all right, let's go ahead. We're going to get some runes. The runes are going to give us our topic. Someone requested that we do this more of a DM focused, and I was like, you know what? That might be a good idea. And then I hadn't done it. So we're going to do it now. Okay. Whoa, whoa. Look who peeked out. I'm not grabbing that. No. All right, hold on. I'm doing a new grab. There's not too many runes in this one, guys. They're big, so there's not very many. So we might have some repeats from the other reading, by the way. But no, I'm not. I want to get 4 in my hand. Is this 4? Yes. All right, we're going to, let's just put them all. There we go. Well, I'm trying to put them face. It's funny that comes up. Oh, okay. All right, cool. So let's mix them, and then we're just going to place them, okay? All right. Oh. Interesting hand movement there. I'm going to redo this one. Now let's go boom, boom. Whoa. Should this needs this bigger? Okay, and then we're going to go back over here. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's start here. I already saw this one, and I know it's interesting that this comes in upside down. It kind of looks like a snake. It kind of reminds me of like the way that a snake sits when it just kind of looks at you. And I feel like that's what happens when you don't have a purpose of your own. I feel like that's what happens when you don't have a passion of your own. I feel like the divine masculine was very double-minded and double-tongued. What is that, a split tongue? I feel like the divine masculine in your life spoke to you and said things to you that it didn't match their actions. And then sometimes it would be almost as if they were trying to then make their actions match their words. But if they were just being normal, being themselves, being natural, it was beautiful and it was loving. And I think that that is a confusing space to be when someone's obviously either dealing with some stuff or maybe even manipulating you. You're not, you're just not sure. And I think that the reason that we're being brought to that part of the dynamic is, hey, listen, do yourself a favor and understand, because this person didn't have a purpose, because they didn't have something that could keep them focused, it really made them, I think, say and do things, not just in a thoughtless way, but in a way that may have been a little bit harmful on purpose. They wanted to, for some reason they couldn't understand, bring you to their level. And the reason I say it's hard to say that it's on purpose, just be like, nope, they did it. It was because there's a guilt factor, but there's also a sense of this person would have been like this until they found their purpose, no matter what. This is just how they would have ended up. That's how most people end up when they're in a place where they don't have that. Someone says, oh, this is called narcissism. Let's not excuse it. I just want to let people know that it's really unhealthy to throw out psychological terms and diagnosis just because you can. In the Twin Flame Summit, we recently, as a council, discussed how the twin flame dynamic can mimic the patterns and cycles of the narcissist codependent relationship. Just like many of your behaviors as divine feminines and many behaviors from divine masculines can mimic narcissism. And if you don't go to a psychologist, a psychiatrist, go to the DSM and look at the, 10, 15 points that it takes to diagnose that, it's unfair to the individual that you are saying that about, or to the situation you're just throwing a topic on because it's a buzzword. It's really serious. We really want to start to give ourselves the opportunity to understand. I'm sitting here talking about a person who lacks purpose, turning into a viper because they have nothing. And we say, oh, narcissism. No, not every time, not always, not everything is that. And even if you have 5 or 6 traits of something, if you don't meet the minimum requirements for that thing, you could also just be dealing with some sort of comorbidity of what you actually do have, or 2 other things you may be really dealing with. Again, it's unfair to continuously throw out these awful terms and just assume that the divine masculines are narcissists, because they're not. So as a person who can't stop themselves, who struggles, there are people who are depressed or anxious. There are people who may be dealing with other, actual chemically imbalanced type of mental disorder, sure, but also dealing with stress, who say and do things. We're human beings. We hurt each other. To bring it that far and say that they were doing it on purpose is incorrect for this particular message. And I like that we're getting this message that says the reason why we're going to talk about this is because this person lacked the most important thing that they needed for their awakening. Your awakening does something to you on multiple levels, spiritual, right, physical, mental, on multiple dimensions, on every level. It triggers these parts of you and makes you change. And most divine masculines, they start with a dark night of the soul and they don't know what they're going through. So let's look at this. What is it that we need to know? What is it that they need you to understand is making them have this drive and this want to be different, this want to change, and to turn this, especially to turn this into something else, because I don't think they like this. I don't think that people who act like this really like it. I know that sometimes it's easy as a victim to want to lean into that. I've been there before. Like, oh, they love it. They love the way they make people feel. It just really, no. Some people in the moment, in the instant, they get a little gratification. But when we're talking about overall, they beat themselves up for days and weeks. And, the type of people who can't go to sleep at night and then they think about every embarrassing thing or awful thing they've ever done. That's the kind of thing that people like this live like. Because at least if they had a purpose, they would go live their life and do their thing, and probably would do this less frequently, snap and lash out. But they don't have anything to distract them. So this person understands something about you that is directly tied to their awakening. And I think it's that you're the first person that they actually noticed what happened when they said what they did. So let's talk. What do we got here? Wow. Yep. They noticed when you lost your joy. They noticed when you lost your joy. They saw when they hurt you. They saw when you gave all of yourself and couldn't save them. I think underneath they got a little bit upset, a little sad that you couldn't save them, because deep down you may have told them you could and they may have believed you, but there was something deep down where they really thought you were going to come in and help. I don't know why. I think Mr. Lightwork and I had a moment like that too. So I think it might be a part of the divine masculine in their darkness. But I think that it took them, oh my gosh, my friend Jeanette will love this one. I just kind of saw like Professor Snape in the Harry Potter series. And I just pictured him doing something mean or saying something mean for the first time as a young child, like before he really learned how to be all snippy snappy and mean to people. And seeing himself in the mirror, like looking at them like, what's wrong with you? Like, ugh. And then really seeing himself and thinking, oh gosh, I don't like that. I don't like you. Who are you? And it's funny because that was what I pictured was young, even though I don't know what young Snape really means in my brain. I pictured young Snape. And it's like a memory he's having looking back. And I'm just wondering what this person might have done or said in the beginning. But then there's another part of me that thinks, no, this reversal where the divine masculine has regressed and has become so much of a child in their own space, in their own, like their ego is very young. And unfortunately, they're looking in the mirror for the first time in a long time. They're looking in the mirror for the first time in a long time because they hurt you. So it's interesting that there's this energy that says this person couldn't find their purpose until they were triggered out of their pain. And them being so tolerant of being hurt made it where nothing really hurt them to make them want to change. But there was something about you, or again, the realization that they may hurt you one day or that they have hurt you in the past. This moment of looking in the mirror after it's again catching yourself in a moment where you almost don't feel like you're having an out of body experience. You feel like you're looking at yourself and thinking, whoa, who is that? That's an evil person. Like even to you, what you just did was bad and you don't know what did I just do. The divine masculine has not been able to see themselves for who they really were. And it didn't matter because everyone they were around, they acted just like them. They acted just like them. So this is interesting because you come in with all your joy and your happiness and you're so beautiful and loving and you just make them feel amazing. And then they do or say something that is just who they are, in their all black and their slick back hair and, whatever. They're cool hipster boots. No, I'm just kidding. But, they come in and they just say their usual thing and the whole party falls apart. This is where they want change. This is where they want to be different. This is where they want the justice to begin. They want to feel like a human and not like some sort of movie villain. Because the thing is, I think a lot of you feel like you're in a movie with your divine counterpart. I used to feel that a lot. I still kind of feel it, but I feel like I'm in a different movie now, Mr. Lightwork. But back in the day, I felt like I was in a movie. Some of the stuff that we did, I was like, what is this? So it's interesting that the divine masculine kind of has that sense, feels that, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I need to make the change. I don't want to constantly be the gray cloud. And that might be the first thing they need, the first thought they ever had about who they really wanted to be. That might be what it was. That at least I don't want to be this person. And I've told you guys before that one of the things that helped Mr. Lightwork kind of start to move is me finally saying, well, fine, tell me what you don't like then. If you don't want to tell me what you do like or what you do want to do, then tell me what you don't like. And I think it's really cool because when he actually looked at what he liked within the things and the answers he got out of looking at what he did not want to be or did not want to do, he could see kind of clearly what he did want to do. And it was just a different approach. It was just going in the other side. And I think it's really hard for someone who isn't dressed the part spiritually kind of thing, mentally, to walk in on the same side as me and you. And I think that's okay. I think that we need to give them that space sometimes. Again, I'm not talking separation wise, but even just as they move forward and as they continue to awaken, to look at things from the other side when they feel like, I just can't think that way. I don't know how. What do we need to understand about this? That them being able to see their purpose from the other perspective of, I know I don't want to be this type of person. How is this going to help them turn things around? They're putting it to death. It's a transformation energy. And, here's the thing. Some of you know that I call this the cloak of death. Okay, you see it, right? If he had a staff in his hand right now, it would be like, yep, that's death, So to see death in the back here, to see the gray, but to see what? The sun is coming up. That's, to me, I don't know. Look, it's in the sun will come up. Okay, so yeah. I get a sense here that this person is going to do what they need to do. They're going to get on the horse. Remember the horse? We saw it in the energies, the Knight of Pentacles. So we saw the person on the horse. But I think that until they'd made the decision to move forward and get on the horse, they were just going to be thinking about it. And I think that this is the change you were looking for. This is the thing you wanted to know that was different. is that the transition is beginning because they finally know which way the light is. They're following the light. They're following the sun, if you will. What else do they want us to know? What else do we need to understand? If this is, okay, this is directly about you. What do we need to know about you? Now, y'all get the fuck out. See, I told you, I told you, I told you. I told you a billion times, don't play with this reading. And y'all thought I was fucking playing. Let's go. You don't, the kid is on the horse. It's the sun card in the no one else. It's just me here. I'm just me. Like, they're going to get on the horse because of you. This is incredible. You are the idea. And you know, I told you guys this before. You're this brilliant idea that they've had. And I don't know if you've ever seen Lion King, but there's these characters, Timon and Pumbaa. And Timon's the real smart guy, okay? And Pumbaa he's just, everyone treats him like he's dumb, but he's not really that dumb. He's just, they just treat him that way because Timon does. And he has brilliant ideas and Timon steals them all the time, okay? And I feel like the divine masculine somehow wants this to be their vision. They want this to be their idea. And they have turned this into, I'm coming to you and I've got my own reasons. I've got my own ideas. Now, little do they know that you, remember, we saw the wand, we saw the horse, okay? But remember, you're the queen of wands and you have the sunflowers already. It's like they don't get it. It's you planted a seed a long time ago, and as much as they want to act as if there isn't something in them driving them forward, or at least it was trying to drive them forward, it didn't really start until now, they realize, and again, it's in a very different way than you're probably going to expect, because it's their Timon. They're Timoning you. They've Timoned you being the person of their dreams. It's crazy because somehow Mr. Lightwork Timoned me pretty good, to a point where there was a point where we flipped when we got together. And I was like, are you for real? Like, I don't know about this. He playing around. Like, it was very strange. It was very strange. It went from me wanting, like, okay, I don't care what, I gotta figure this out. I just gotta do this, to kind of being like, I don't know about this. You different. You real different. Is this real? And it was like, he then is saying stuff to me that I'm thinking, that's what I said, but I can't tell him that because he don't want me. He don't like I told you so. Nobody does. But I'm like, I told you that years ago. But he just, I'm gonna do this. This is great. I think I'm this. I think I might have a gift. And it's like, oh. So again, do you want to know how they see you different? Boom. You are the sun. You are the thing that is driving them out of the darkness. And they've probably known that for a long time, but I think that they were uncomfortable leaving the darkness, and now they're uncomfortable staying. What do we need to understand about this? Wow. They understand that if they stay, that their vision, the thing that they want most, and look at this. What did I tell you? I felt like that heart, the circle was the rune, and look at that. It's like the perfect size. You see why I said that earlier? I get the sense that they realize that if they don't go to the thing that makes them happy, that soon it's going to start raining. This gray skies thing, this situation of just constantly being in a life where it's like, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing. Who cares? I'm just here to brood. I'm just here to be mad. Like, whatever it is. They understood that eventually this was going to start to affect any ability they had within to do anything at all. They understood that it was either one way or the other. And I think that's interesting that someone gets on the horse now. And again, it's like, why would you want to hear that? Why would I want to know that they've decided that this is the best thing to do, finally, after I told them a million times, and they don't even think it's my idea. They think it's their idea. And it's like, because I thought you wanted to know the answer. I thought you wanted to know the answer. Now when they tell you, you're like, no. whatever. No, I don't like this. I wanted it to be my way. And it's like, look, a lot of your divine masculines are as stubborn as you, so don't be surprised about this. All right. Yeah, I got you. I know. I know what I'm doing. So, what's next? They know they need to heal. They understand that they need to remove these things, transform their life, specifically the part of them that cannot help but be a douchey wooshy, okay? A fart face, if you will, all right? A poopy face, tomato nose, if you understand what I'm saying. So, what is it that we need to understand next? Okay, now look. I did not see this. I did see this, but I did not see this. This is the sun. That would have been pretty dope if it was there, but I think that this was a more important point to make. It's a little interesting that things are kind of, okay, all right. So, but anyways, again, for this particular rune set, when we think about the sun, we're talking about the thing that makes us happy on a soul level. We're talking about the things that, again, like from childhood, the passions that we have. So what is it that we need to understand about this? They've been weighing and measuring things. And it's interesting because Mr. Lightwork, he and I have this vision about the Two of Pentacles sometimes, about this representing different stuff. And I can't remember. He told me he talked about it with someone on a call or something the other day. And I was like, oh, I have that. I talk about that too. And he's like, oh, I talk about it in my readings. I was like, oh, look at that. But it reminds me of that. And it just makes me think about how there's so many, I know what he was saying. He was talking about how sometimes, we have divine, like God, source, spirit, universe, and we have our divine counterpart. And we pick, and what I usually talk about is the path. I always say this is the high path and this is the low path. But it doesn't matter really what you put. It's the fact that we sit here and we go back and forth and we weigh and measure over and over. We can't really seem to stop ourselves. We know the thing that goes up high. And remember, this started, I believe it's right here still. Yeah, this starts with, look at this. Eventually they figure it out. You see, they got the sword from the Three of Swords. But they figure out how to make all this work. But the problem here, as they try to figure out what really makes them happy and do what they want to do, is the high vibration is a little bit heavier because they have to hold it a little bit higher. And the low vibration is something that they're more comfortable with. And I think that they're finding themselves thinking, I know this is the right thing. I know, but this, I could probably get away with this. I know I should take the high path, but the low path seems a lot easier. I know that I should pick the person that's obviously better, but you know what? The person that's down here isn't going to ask as much of me. There's all these decisions, and the divine masculine has struggled for a very long time. Whenever they reach the shore, whenever they reach this part of their life where they know they're supposed to make the change, they find themselves stuck. They find themselves wondering. And what they don't understand is, and you can kind of see it in the background, is that the low vibe is actually much more dangerous. It's smoother sailing when you take the high vibe. The low vibe is going to take you up and down a lot higher because those merchants don't know the best routes. Okay? You don't want to go with these people. And I just have a feeling here that the divine masculine needs you to understand. I'm struggling because I see you. I think that you're amazing. I'm coming towards you. I'm searching. I'm doing my best to just get rid of this pain so that I don't hurt you because I'm hurt. I know how much that hurts you, which then hurts me. And then I probably hurt you again because then, let's just face it, I don't like being bad and getting called out for it. And you being upset in any way, shape, or form and not being your normal, loving, bubbly, happy self is the worst call out of my life. Come on, let's just get real. So this person says, I want to do better, but I'm just struggling here because my normal way has always been to choose what's easier and to avoid the thing that I know is going to really take me where I need to go. What do we need to know? Oh, look at that. Oh, wow. Remember what we talked about, the Knight of Pentacles getting on the horse. There you have it. There you have it. I'm going to put that up front. The Page of Pentacles says, I want to do this, and I want the kingdom that we are going to build because you're there. Understand, I want what I know we can do together more than I want what I can do by myself. I want what I can have with you more than I want what I can have by myself. Again, who wants to hear that? When I first started to get messages like that years ago, I would kind of get frustrated and be like, how am I supposed to tell somebody that in a personal reading? But again, I get it now. Divine does things by any means necessary, but in a way that also is not force. So if this is what divine had to do for some of your divine masculines, for them to, maybe they don't even realize they're coming towards you. They just know they're doing something. Or, maybe they had to get into such a bad spot where they finally could see you and you think, oh, great, they come to me when they have nothing. And it's like, no, that's what they might think in the moment. Some of them think they're being slick when they come in because they need you. But it was the only way for you two to actually come together and them to go, oh, snap. Because again, what you don't get is that this still is more important than any of that. Their ability to hurt you sucks. But what I will tell you is this, your true divine masculine will not let themselves hurt you very many times. So if things happen, I hate that readers have to say this, but I guess, right? Obviously not talking about anyone who is toxic to your life, ruining it or abusive or something. I'm talking about just normal. You didn't call, you did call. You told me you were going to. You said this, but the normal stuff, no matter how bad it was, kind of thing. Okay. When I say no matter, you know what I mean? Okay. So it's like, what you have to understand is this person is always going to feel bad. And even if they hurt you in the past a couple of times or a lot of times because you just kept letting them, even though they did not know how to do anything else but hurt people, and you just kept answering the phone and calling them, and I don't get it. But if they tried to get away from you and protect you from them and you chased after them, please do not talk about them. All right. That's you. You knew what you were chasing. Okay. This person, even if they come in and they're still not all the way ready, still has one thing that no other human being on this planet, maybe aside from someone like your parents, someone who like really knows you and loves you and tolerates you on another level. Right. There is something that happens to them when they hurt you that impacts them like nothing else. So not only are they committing to this life with you and telling you, I want to be with you, even if maybe some of them are not really ready, they're going to get there because you are their awakening symptom. You are the thing that you're their mirror. Oh my gosh, Snape wasn't looking into the mirror. Snape was looking at, I'm not going to say a name. All right. So seeing this person say that, hey, listen, you're my mirror is beautiful. But remember, they also understand that everything they do moving forward is going to be connected to you. And by telling you they're aware of that, and they're aware of this, that they understand who you are to them. A part of the reason why probably a lot of them actually, let's just be real, our DMs didn't want to be around us, this right here. This is saying to you that I'm going beyond just making a little commitment and I want to be with you. No, this is telling you that I know how we are. I know that we challenge each other and we're going to have to be better and better and we're always going to have to be growing. And this is a never ending life of awakening. And that if we work alongside each other and build a kingdom that depends, not codependent, interdependently on each other, that I will never be able to get away from this, meaning I can't hurt you, meaning I have to continue to try to become the best person I can become for the rest of my life. I can never give up. That is a big deal because you know what, honey? Y'all, our divine masculines, they are so spiritually lazy until they awaken. And that's where you think that their awakening is going to be slow. But what you don't know is they are faster than you. So when they awaken, let me tell you, it's different than you think. So this is beautiful because the commitment is coming in and saying, listen, The reason that I see things so differently is because I see my life and myself in a new light, in a new way. So what do we need to know? What's the last thing? Interesting. Sacred Heart. Wow. Wow. I do not want us trapped, stuck, miserable. Do you see how many what's that called? Not high vibration, major arcana cards have come up? You see what we're dealing with in this reading? We started off with the 10. We saw the vision. They don't want this. They want to live in a domain, in a, how do I put this? In like a spiritual space with you where the outside world does not impact your life. Where materialism and being bound to the matrix or whatever you want to call it, they don't want that. They want freedom with you. And one of the things that they did not understand about sacred relationships is that that's what that meant. That you could be free and together at the same time. What do we have back here? Wow. They were holding out. They were holding back because they did not believe. They knew, and I think this might be the most important part of this message. They knew that you were it. They've always known that you were it. There was never a point where they didn't know that you were it. To me, that says they've been aware of who they've been in your life, how they've hurt you. They've been aware of how special you, and again, touching to their core, their childhood, their belief system of what relationships should be before that vision of reality TV kind of ruined it. Okay. There's something for this person that is coming in and it's saying none of that matters. None of that matters. This is the only thing that matters. And I can't keep holding back because I'm so afraid that I think that the gray area is the safer place to be. I want to live in the heights with you. I want to be able to enjoy the truth of a sacred relationship, which is behind like a firewall of protection. This is interesting because this person has spent a lot of time, and I'm going to say this and it kind of feels weird to say, but they've spent a lot of time in the streets. And that's not a good thing. In this nowadays, there's a slang term called for the streets. And you don't want to be for the streets. That means it's like the new way of saying Thoughtiana, I think. Okay. Like the old way of saying gardening tool, hoe, okay. So it's like, I'm not trying to tell you that this person is for the streets, but I will tell you that the vibe I get is that they're fully aware their behavior is kind of like that. They were in the streets. They were doing things that didn't make sense, that did not befit someone of their spiritual power and prowess, or at least to who they're supposed to be. And it was impossible for them to really see you and to be vulnerable and to do the things that made them feel vulnerable with you. It was hard for them to really see the value of awakening. They did see the value in you. Don't get me wrong. But it was the awakening that was missing. And it was why they would allow themselves to sit around you and hurt you. Because they, honey, anytime they call, even if they ghost afterwards or whatever, anytime they call, text, anytime they reach out, do you know how long they've been sitting on that idea? Just as long as the last time you sat on an idea and then finally texted them or called them, okay? You're not the only ones who do that, okay? So when they finally reach out, it's because they're desperate. They need that energy. You're the only one who can give it to them and they know it. For them to finally be willing to put that aside means that something has already awakened within them. Again, something you've said or done has triggered this change in them. Let's get our final little message here. What is it that we need to understand? What do we need to know? We see that we see that the divine feminine is really worth it to the divine masculine. We see something happened. Wow. Boom. 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 Something happened. What am I trying to say right now? I'm trying to tell you not to play with me. Okay? I'm trying to tell you not to play with me. King of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, Knight of Wands. Divine intervention. What happened? Divine intervention. What's back here? Divine intervention brought about divine wisdom. Quick wisdom. Okay? Quick wisdom. This, I'm going to tell you what. They could have had some situationships falling apart. They could have some things that they put all their, eggs in one basket in falling apart. But something is not going well, or they already know that it's about to fall down very soon. And it is opening their eyes. It is opening their eyes to the fact that they are no closer to who they wanted to be, or in some of the very worst cases, your divine masculine finally got everything they said that they wanted, and they are miserable. They're miserable. So, the reason that they've shifted their sights, the reason that they're on the horse, the reason why they're going wild right now, trying to move their life forward, is because they thought that they were happy. They lost a lot of time lollygagging in the gray area, playing around, keeping you stuck because they were stuck, because some of you who are here, not all twin flames watch Twin Flame Tarot. And if they don't think that they're not awakened. Don't think that people have to watch tarot or do whatever you do spiritually to be awakened. Don't think that light workers, if they're not dating someone or whatever, aren't twin flames. If they are twin flames, they're twin flames. Nothing changes that. Nothing changes you being a twin flame. You are who you are, and you are meant to do something huge. Your DM might even be doing something over here. I'm letting you know you really want to pull back in the way that you perceive these things and how they go down, how they happen. But I see this person coming in kind of from out of nowhere. I see this person saying, I can't do this anymore, and getting hit like a ton of bricks by something big right now. I see this person deciding that where they've been is not the move, and that they have no more time to waste because, I gotta go here and back to the Knight of Pentacles in the very beginning. They already wasted it all. And again, some of you are going to take that and be like, great, so they're coming to me with nothing. Nope, they're probably coming to you with the golden egg. You know what I mean? They're coming to you with the most important thing that they hid all along. They're coming to you with the thing that they thought was going to be their thing that allowed them to be this person, this King of Pentacles, on their own. Only to understand that, no. You don't run a kingdom on your own. There's a lot. One last rune. There's not very many in here, but let's see what we can get. The moon. Let's read the moon from the book. The sun. Okay. Everyone experiences times in their lives where they're afraid or insecure. Sometimes these fears are based on external factors you can see, and sometimes worries stem from irrational or unreal concerns. In both cases, it's important to go within and listen to your intuition as to what to do next. Ask yourself about the source of your anxiety and trust your guidance. You know what's interesting? It makes me think about the beginning of the energies when we were pulling cards at the very, very beginning. And it's like, there's something in them. There's something that feels wrong. There's something that they can't understand. And yet, they're so afraid of it that they won't look at it. They're so afraid of it that they avoid it because they would rather avoid it than find out it's something that they can't deal with. So I can't tell if this is a happening or a what would you call that? Holding on to the last minute and then it finally breaks. I don't know what you would call that. Just a not taking, like a preventable problem. You just didn't take care of it and you let it fall apart. I don't know I can't think of words right now, but Okay. The angel sent you this card because this is a time of powerful intuition and psychic ability. However, your greatest insights will be about yourself. Interesting. I wonder if that means that they're going to realize they're timoning you. You know what I mean? No, probably not. All right. Embrace this period of self-awareness. Well, I don't know. Maybe, see? Okay. This is interesting. Snake, lack of self-awareness. And that you're the mirror. You are their self-awareness. Whoo, child. Okay, let's keep going. Embrace this period of self-awareness to overcome past blocks that have held you back. Awaken to truths about yourself that you've kept hidden and see your brilliant light. Pay attention to your dreams, unseen events that are affecting you, illusions, and that's where the Eight of Swords, Five of Swords, Eight of Swords came up. And that, right before that was the High Priestess. Can they see you? Okay, again, from time to time, I mention this, but only if I see it. I wonder if there's something here that's been happening where they can see your social media. Not everyone's on social media, so some of you, this isn't going to count. Like, I don't use it. That's why it's I don't really think to talk about it like that. But this seems very specific. Like they think they know what they saw. But then later they saw something, and because they knew you well enough, they knew the truth and they realized that wasn't, what would that mean? It would be like they saw a picture where they knew that you weren't really happy or something. It's interesting. The same thing that gave them the confusion later gave them clarity. And there's this part of them that's intuitively seeing that oh, you know what? This may be talking about some of them thinking that you don't want to be with them or you don't want a relationship with them or that you're already in a relationship or whatever. And then later, something happening again, it could be as simple as like, oh, I saw you with a guy, but it could also be as, as big as you commenting or putting memes and just happening to follow some random new page where a bunch of them were like depressing or something, and you posted and shared a bunch of them randomly, and that just happened to be that they checked your Facebook, and boom, a crazy illusion was started. You never know how people get to the place that they get to when you haven't talked in a while, but you're connected a little bit. You just never know how they take things. You never know how it influences them. You never know what day, what time they're experiencing this stuff. And I just wonder what it is that they saw. Saw you out and about, walking around, saw you talking, happy with someone. I don't know, but boy, I tell you what, there's something that happened. And it really fucked with this person. I can't tell if this is everyone or if this is someone specific. You can see it really clearly. All right, what does this say? Full moon, intuition, clairvoyance, developing, trusting, and following your spiritual gifts and divine guidance. Interesting. I don't know. I feel like this divine counterpart wants... Oh, did you see this? As I say wants... And this is 10, and this, I just realized we started with 10, the Wheel of Fortune. And then we have the sun as this major player in the thing. But this person they want, and it's literally like right here. You see how much the Pentacles showed up in this reading, even to start us off. The planting of the seed is, I think, a reciprocal thing. They want to come in and be able to offer you that same love, that same sowing into spirit, They do. I mean, it's kind of, look at that. The Six of Wands is under, this is you. This is your deck. This is the divine feminine energy of specifically to this reading. Hey, I'm focusing on the divine feminine through the divine masculine lens, but this specifically is about you. And I'm sorry if they're not around yet, or if they are around and they're being a doofus. I want you to really understand that the reason I think that this message came through me is because I focus on the light work. And I think that the best thing for you to do is to focus on the light work so that when they show up or come in, or if they're already around and that you're talking and you guys have something to talk about other than each other, other than what's going on around you and people. And nope, you have something constructive to talk about. You have something inspiring to talk about. Remember, we saw Wheel of Fortune. We saw Ace of Wands. We see even here Knight of Wands, King of Pentacles. I feel like we're looking at this energy and sometimes we see it from the wrong direction of, okay, so, well, when are they coming then? Or what does this mean? Is this a message for me? Is this my person? Can you get, it's like, wait. I think that somewhere underneath all of this, they're trying to get your attention. Focus on your purpose, focus on yourself, focus on your light, and focus on building everything you need to have a sacred bond. Why? Because I am not very good at this and I'm going to need you to inspire me when I get there, whether I'm better or not so good at it still. Okay? I think their realization has been that if they do not make the change, if they do not become who they're supposed to become, they're done. Now's the time. Life is moving too fast for so many of them, and they can't keep standing around or even sitting around doing nothing. They can't keep having these moments where the only time they can see in the mirror is when they hurt you. They want more, and they're tired of being afraid. So, Divine Feminine, I think it's really important for you to show them how to live a life of freedom. Okay? I think it's really important for you to live a life of freedom with your movements, with your actions, with your words, with your speech, with your social media, with every angle that you can finagle in this world should be from this space of being a light worker. Because I think that's the thing that's going to trigger your divine masculine. This is what they care about. And if you can start carrying as a Queen of Pentacles, I'm not just talking about saying you're abundant. How many of you have been saying that but aren't? And I'm not calling you out like, you don't have nothing. No, I'm asking you that so that you can understand that you might be missing a part of that equation. If you don't know how to become abundant and you don't really care that much about it anyways, because you're like, I'm good where I'm at. I'm grateful. I got gratitude. Cool. But guess what? That's not their stilo. That's not how they were made to be. So you need to find a way to be able to help them with the increase, because that's what you're both here to do, to increase so that you can share that light. Find out what you can be doing to get yourself to be more free of everything around you, all the confusion. Because this person's coming, and ready or not, look at that. Look at this face. Look at this face. You can't say no. You cannot say no. All right, I'm gonna go. This was fun. I miss you guys. I haven't gone live in a while. I see some people saying, hey, I need to work on not self-sabotaging. Yeah, man, we all do. Especially the ones where we don't realize we're doing it. I think that's the worst kind. So just, we need to work on the things that we are going to rub off negative on our divine masculine and then get mad when they do it. We need to work on the things that we know before they even come around that we have a problem with everywhere we go, and stop trying to blame them for it. You know, like we need to just get ourselves to a point where we're the best person we can be. And if we're there every day, the truth is most of us aren't going to be worried about where they are. Because when you're living your best, doing your best, worry isn't really part of the equation anymore. So keep focus, keep focus. Don't let yourself get caught up in what they aren't. Get caught up in everything they will be. Everything that you're becoming will have an equal partner. Look forward to it. Get excited about it. Focus on what you do want instead of what you don't want. If you're going to talk about the law of attraction, go learn about it. If you're going to watch tarot and you're not going to ever quit and you're like, no, I'm into it now, or you're going to even start reading, learn a little bit about it before you do it. Like, If you're going to touch things, if you're Christian and you don't read the Bible or connect with, if you don't do your thing to its best, that right there can be the place that you start, because you've got to get yourself on this flow of focus. You have to be prepared to move with the universe. You can't just stand around and do nothing. It seems like, oh, I'm in the flow. No, you're not. You're doing nothing. You're not in any flow. So get yourself into that space where you are so in it that your divine masculine has no choice but to just join you. And they can follow the leader, if you will, in terms of the positive vibes and the openness and the excited energy. Because it's really, really tough the moment one of you starts having too many bad days and then both of you just give into that. It's hard to get out of that cycle. So do yourself a favor now and build yourself up every single day to a point where you don't need them and they're not hurting you by not being there. Okay? This is important. This is really important. Okay, so, I had a couple people give a donation. Thank you, guys. I didn't even see that. I don't know where it went. Who is it? Hi, Nicole. Hi, Kara. Checking back. You guys are so sweet. Thank you. I think we had a new member, too. What up, members? What up, what up? The reading's over. I'm done. I've been here a long time. No, not really. This is like a shorter reading, isn't it? Oh, my gosh. You guys have only been here for 61 minutes. This is amazing. It's amazing. Okay, so don't forget. This weekend, we're going to talk about... Spirit sent me, as they say, right? I had this download about the sliding scale of the divine masculine, and then I got another download about the sliding scale of reunion. And so we're going to talk about that this weekend at the Twin Flame Summit. So if you're interested in being a council member or a moderator, just visit thefierygrace.com. You can search Twin Flame Summit, thefierygrace.com in Google, and it should bring the page right up. But yeah, if you're interested in joining us, we're going to talk about a lot of things, but we have to figure out how we as a community of twin flames, especially a twin flame divine feminine community who has the awareness, who can look a little bit ahead in time here, how we can be more fulfilled in our journey when it comes down to being in separation, more fulfilled when it comes to even being in some sort of union with a person who isn't fully awakened. So me and Mr. Lightwork will be leading that. That's what our Twin Flame Summit is for the fall here. So if you're interested in joining us, some of you saw that video we posted this weekend. That was the Twin Flame Summit from the summer. And there we talked about tarot and how to have a healthier relationship with it, whether or not, and how to start a tarot channel, kind of some of the work it was going to take, to give you kind of like an inside scoop. So if you're a member, just so you know, you can go to the ASCENT playlist for the members only playlist, and you'll find all of the past live streams where you see me and Mr. Lightwork's face. Oh yeah, those are members only now. So if you want to join us and be a part of the full 2-hour seminar, it is this Sunday and it's 10:10. And I really think that a lot of us, we're going to want to talk and have this conversation because it's the one thing that we talk about on a surface level in the community, but it's the one thing we try not to talk about. And like pretty much only the people who are mad ever really address. But then if you're in a good mood, it's like, nope, don't talk about that. So I know there's a lot of us who it's like, you know what, let's just rip the Band-Aid off and talk about it. Let's really be real. And if you want to be a part of that, I suggest that you join the live. If you want to watch the replay, you can always order an absentee ticket for Monday. You can review it then. All right. I think that's everything. I am going to get back to writing. My book is finished, but I'm just doing my final edit / rewrite or whatever. And so be on the lookout for that. But for now, you can get a personal reading with me. You can get a personal reading with Mr. Lightwork. You can give us a call. We can have a chat session. You can get live readings. All kinds of different things are available if you want a personalized love letter. And we've got a bunch of exclusive access links as well, like bonus readings available for you guys to check out. So whatever you guys are into, make sure you check out thefierygrace.com. And this is my email address if you wanted to send me an email. And I'm Fiery Grace. I'm an intuitive life strategist here on YouTube. I use these cards to help me intuit messages. And tonight, I think the message was pretty powerful. Our divine masculine needs us to know that for a long time, they avoided you and they avoided their awakening. And now they realize that the only way to get you back is to awaken. And so I really hope that you are open to this, because they're going to come in varying stages and degrees. They're going to come usually after something kind of forced them to. And I hope that you're prepared for the very rapid and significant change that they're going to make, because they also are going to shock you when they do, and you're going to wonder if it's real. So just really prepare yourself here for this sacred relationship, because that's what they're doing, whether you want to believe it or not. Is there anything else I want to tell you guys? Oh yeah. Leave your signature. So I think I'm going to start doing that from now on. I am going to start doing, I think maybe once a month, I'm going to give away a free reading again, because, okay, some of you guys remember that when I first started my channel, I gave away a reading every month. It was a 30-minute reading every month. If you sent me a picture of you giving out homeless bags, not of the homeless individual, but of the bag you made, and that you were, like going out and giving them out, that I would, draw names and give a homeless or a reading out. And so back in the day, I usually only got a few people every month that did it. And sometimes it would only be one person a month. And so I would give out the readings. But then the pandemic hit and I was like, well, I don't want to encourage people to go out and do that when we don't really know what's going on. And so I can't remember what I did. I think that's when I started doing the giveaways, just like I would just do giveaways a few times a year. So with the giveaway we did the other day, which was really members focused, because you guys have rocked our socks off with support for the past, some of you have been here for almost a year or over a year. And so it's like, look, we wanted to show things, but now maybe we can find another way to show things. So I think that is the nice move to do. Let's start by whoever's willing to support the channel, and it has to be your emoji signature. All right. That's what I'm looking for. I am looking for a signature that has, I will say, at least 2 emojis in it. Okay. At least 2 emojis, if not more. And it has to be the one you post every time. Okay. So some of you know what I'm talking about. Some of you already have yours. If you want to post it, and if you want to look in the chat or in the comments, you'll see that a bunch of people have posted them. And some of you scroll through the comments enough that you'll recognize and be like, oh yeah. So that is their comment signature. It's their way of leaving a little note and saying, hey, I was here. Okay. So again, you got to leave those comments in the comment section below. If you put them in the chat, I mean, you can show people your signature, but that's not where it counts. Okay. Because once the chat is over, it goes away. And then after that, it doesn't count towards anything. So putting your comment in the comment section boosts the video for the algorithm. And that's the only way that YouTube really works. I know sometimes people don't want to hear about it. They don't want to talk about it, but it's just the reality. If you want to get this type of content out to more people, if you want to have more twin flames, seeing the ascension side of things, getting messages from their DM that are not so toxic or negative or just, I don't know, weird. This is the kind of ways, or these are the kind of things that you could be doing, is just leaving a comment. So I wanted to throw that out there. Once a month, I will draw, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm probably just going to pick a random video with Mr. Lightwork and then pick a random comment. And we will give something away. Probably it'll be a reading every month. And I hope that opens you guys up and gets you kind of excited to join the tribe and participate a little bit. Hopefully some of you who just tend to lurk in the shadows, let me know that you're here. I don't really know you guys, but I do. As weird as it's going to sound, I recognize names for real. Like almost like your picture and then your name is a face to me. If that makes any sense. Like that I've made your acquaintance through your comment. And so there's some people who I know you because you're a client, or I know you because you've been a subscriber for a really long time. And then there's others where we don't really talk, but you leave a comment enough where I know you, I know that sounds weird, but it's the internet, I guess. So that's how I feel. And so it's like, it's good to see you guys are here, but if you're not commenting, then I don't know that. And it feels weird to not know you exist. So it is kind of cool when you do decide to comment, even if normally you wouldn't. All right. So I wanted to throw that out there. I thought that would be a really good way for us to connect and for me to get to know more of you guys, and for me to be able to kind of reward those of you who support the channel, even if it is just a comment or a like or something like that, not necessarily through monetizing with membership or something like that. So thanks a lot for listening. I hope that that kind of, it gives you a reason to join in on the fun, but also is an exciting way for you to get a reading and have a chance to, I don't know, share a little bit about your journey, see what could be next. I don't know. That kind of makes me excited. I think that's a good thing. If you think that there should be a different prize, let me know. But I feel like when I did the drawing the other day, everyone wanted the readings. Like people, even when I was giving them the chance and afterwards over email, when I had members contact me and I was like, okay, here's the remaining prizes, they would put the cash last. They were like, I want the reading. I was like, really? You could buy the reading with the cash, but all right. So anyways, so okay. I hope that this has been fun. You see, every time I go live, I don't want to leave because I'm having so much fun. I love you guys. All right. Yeah, you're late. You're late. Okay. Because, hey, listen, do yourself a favor, my peoples, and go ahead and check your subscription notification. Go ahead and check the bell. If you're subscribed, click your bell a few times to see what you have it on. Because if you ever have noticed that you don't get notifications for any of our stuff, you probably have your notifications turned off and you might want them. Okay. So make sure you do yourself that little favor and check the notification, put it where you want it to be. That way, if you're trying to wean yourself off tarot, maybe you unsubscribe from you stay on the channel, but you, what is that word? You like turn off the bell, you turn off the notifications. And then if you're thinking, no, you know what? If I'm going to watch tarot, at least let me watch tarot like this, where I'm getting a lot of good information or whatever, then awesome. Make sure you've got that bell on so that you're not missing them. Because I don't know any other way other than to set the time a little bit earlier for you guys so that you can see I'm about to go live. But I don't know any other way to get the notification out. And I see people are saying they got the notification late, and it's like, dang, I believe it. It happens all the time. I know it does. People comment that all the time, but it's like, I wonder if it's just because their notifications aren't working on their phone, or like, why would YouTube send it out late to some people? You know what I mean? That's weird. So just make sure you check on that and see if there's something that you can do. And also, like I said, just be real with yourself when it comes to how you watch tarot. If you want a channel that is going to help you wean yourself off or get yourself into a healthy mind state, if you think you're going to want to keep watching tarot, but maybe you just want to, again, be in a higher vibrational space, definitely stick around, watch this particular channel. Let us help you through your journey in the way that's going to work for you. Okay. I want to be here. I want to give you guys the opportunity to experience our reunion energy as me and Mr. Lightwork, continue forward. Again, I don't know if you guys know this, but Mr. Lightwork recently asked me, I don't want to say the word because we have stalkers and I'm like trying not to get anybody's attention and bother their energy. But Mr. Lightwork and I are moving forward with a great seriousness in our life, in our ministry. And I want that for you guys. I want you to experience the idea of reunion in a healthy way before you have it. And then I want you to be able to experience a beautiful reunion without without the guilt or without, there's just a lot of toxic energy in the community that I want you to be free of it. And I think it seems like your divine masculine wants you. Oh, hello, look at that. It was actually up here. Oh my gosh, look at that. Your divine masculine wants you to be free as well. So if you find yourself worried or stressed out on your tarot journey, as I will call it, join us here and we'll do our best to keep you grounded. We'll do our best to be, kind of big brother, big sister, or whatever you need us to be. And we'll tell you the realness about the divine masculine, because frankly, that's my specialty. And then Mr. Delightful, Mr. Lightwork is a divine masculine, and he's in union, and he was in a space just a few years ago where this was him, where he lived in the gray area. So that's why we do what we do. It's not easy, both of us having the same job, working in a community where there is so much pain, and yet we are really blessed to be able to be here and experience those beautiful bursts of, energetic shift. It's like this massive expansion that people have where they just move up, they move on, they change, they see reunion and this life and this love and this bond for what it really is. And if you want to be a part of that, just hang out. It's literally just bursting out of us. Okay? So I love you and I really hope that you enjoy this. I miss you guys. I think I'm going to start trying to go live more frequently. It's our Shabbat on Friday night / Saturday night. So I won't be able to go live those nights. Like I was up really late last weekend, doing the drawing because we ended up taking an emergency call right before it. I was supposed to go live earlier last weekend. So, but I think that maybe during the week I might try going live around 8 or 9 o'clock. Because we've been having issues too. Mr. Lightwork, I feel so bad for him. He had 2 readings where there was no sound. I feel so bad. Oh my goodness gracious. They were for you guys, by the way, not even just personals. They were for you. They were for the collective. So I'm tempted to just let them play without sound and just put some music or something, but I feel like no one would watch that. Like, what the hell is this? But yeah, so I just, if you want to be a part of something different, if you really don't experience twin flames like Mr. Lightwork and I in particular, with similar features, traits, characteristics, whatever you want to call it, demographic information. If you're not used to seeing people like this in union, this is a great place to be. All right. So we love you. And hopefully I'll see you live more often. Yeah, I think it'll be a good idea. Don't forget, leave your comment signature in the comment section for a chance to win a free reading at the end of this month. There, that is my pitch. Boom, boom. That was my ASCENT gong. Okay, I'm out of here. I love you guys so much. I will talk to you later. Peace. Oh, Steph. Hey, Steph, I got your email. It looks really good. I'm so sorry. I got distracted, but